Hello, this is Jennifer Tillman with the Tillman team of Keller Williams Preferred Properties. And each month we have one of our partners that we interview just to bring knowledge and information to our clients. And so this month we are interviewing Mr. Wendell Jackson II with Blazing Star Inspection Services. And Wendell, I love your tagline, your guiding light for a protected home purchase. So, Wendell, tell us a little bit about how you got started in the home inspection services business.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. It's nice talking to you again. I kind of got started in the home inspection business about 2007. One of my cousins was in it, and he mentioned that he was receiving a lot of enjoyment from doing it, and he thought that I might be good at doing it. And I had just purchased my own home, so I actually found the home inspection process quite interesting because I learned a lot on my inspection, and I felt that maybe my inspector could have done a little bit better with sharing of information and what to expect throughout the home buying process as it pertained to the wear and tear of the home and the care of the home in the future.
Yes, yes, yes. It's so important. Well, we feel that it's very important, and that's what we like to share with our clients, both buyers and sellers. Just to know what they're purchasing because a home is one of their biggest investments. So, why do you feel that having a home inspection, even for sellers before they put their home on the market, and definitely for buyers who are purchasing a property, what would you say is the most important thing? Why is it so important to have a home inspection?
Well, for a buyer, the home inspection process is, I believe, one of the most important processes because you will be able to look at the house through a different eye. When a buyer walks through a property today, they're looking for specific things. They're looking for the items that they provided to you when they were looking for a house. Maybe open floor plan, maybe 4 bedrooms, maybe 3 bathrooms, that kind of thing. When I am doing a home inspection, I'm looking at it through a little bit more of an eye toward the condition of the property. Maybe what types of things that the homeowner or the new homeowner, prospective homeowner, or the home seller may not necessarily see on a daily basis. There are a lot of things that go into the home buying process and to the home selling process as it pertains to home inspection that people don't even think about until they actually get into the house. And hopefully a problem does not occur in that period of time. But when they do, there's certain corrections that need to be made, but some things can be addressed prior to the home being sold.
Right. And I know one of the things that I know if I was buying a home, I would want to know where all the valves are, how to cut off the water and just different things like that. Knowing just information that a homeowner, especially if it's a first-time home buyer, they may need to know because they've never had a home. So they might not know how to manage things or how often to change out the filters in the AC unit and stuff like that. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Those types of things we address on every home inspection. And how would you know where to address or where to care for an issue if you don't know where it's located? I mean, main water is one of the biggest things you want to know about as well, because you want to know where to shut it off to prevent any potential issues, or maybe just maintenance. You want to do some home maintenance. You want to replace some fixtures or things like that in your house. If you don't know where to shut it off to begin that process, then this is where the home inspection comes in.
Right, right, right. And in some of the home inspections, like I had someone call me today to ask me how long ago did this backflow valve, was inspected. Well, it's things like that. You may have your home for years and years and years, and if you don't know that that's something that you should have inspected periodically, so just so important things like that.
Right. Some counties require the backflow valve testing that you're speaking of, which is specifically for the sprinkler system where it branches off from the main water supply. And that valve is just to prevent any impurities to enter into your water supply for the house. Because the fresh water supply you're going to be using to cook and to brush your teeth and to bathe in, that kind of stuff. And you certainly don't want any of those impurities in. But it's one of those things that is especially important in new home purchases today, or homes that have been built within the last 10 years, because some of the counties have gone to a requirement for sprinklers being installed. Some of them have not. But
Hmm.
most homes today are going to have sprinklers installed already, and it's important to know that that system needs to be inspected.
Right, right, right. And, things, maybe code has changed over the years. And so the buyers should know that they're purchasing a home. Maybe that's not up to code, and some of the changes. And then for my sellers, I'll tell some sellers that they can do a home inspection ahead of time because maybe they could knock out some of the little things that, if a buyer then comes along and does a home inspection and they see a whole list of things that
Hmm.
maybe the seller could have taken care of, in their mind, they might feel that the seller hadn't maintained that home. So,
Right. And maintenance in a home it varies for, between sellers.
mhm,
Everyone maintains to the effect of what they know. So if a
right,
person doesn't really know what needs to be maintained, you're not really going to just feel comfortable calling the contractor out and saying, "Hey, Mr. Contractor, what needs to be done in my house?" You kind of want to focus on those things, especially when people are working hard to pay for their home. So you
right.
really want to have an idea of what things need to be cared for and what service intervals that you should think about when you purchase a home.
Right, right, right. So, what would you tell your buyers or, the buyer clients, how to prepare, for, or better than that, what should they be expecting from your home inspection services? Because, some inspection companies do different things. So, what should they be expecting from your home inspection services?
Well, in my home inspection, I try to be as interactive with the client as possible. I do, however, accept all clients and all clients levels of understanding and levels of comfort with walking around. I don't have an issue with whatever makes them comfortable. I
Mhm.
can either walk with them from room to room, from item to item, from window to window, and you can follow me throughout the entire inspection. Some
Mhm.
folks are comfortable with that. I am comfortable if you want to do that. If you would like to go take measurements, and then when we get to the major concern items, we can talk about those. But I definitely would want the client, as it pertains to a new buyer, I would want them with me when we got to the main components of the house, especially where, typically those are located in the basement. When we go to the basement, I would definitely want them with me there
Mhm.
because that is where the majority of the money is spent in home upkeep and wear and tear.
Right, right. And one of the things that I suggest sometimes is for them to even have a little notebook
Right.
because they may not remember some of the things that you're showing them, telling them what they need to remember to do, like you said, regular maintenance. And then even after that, to have a notebook that they might keep all of their repair documents and things like that in.
Yes, that would certainly be advisable. It makes good sense to do that. As it pertains to being prepared for the home inspection, what I would kind of want them to do is to come with an open mind,
Mhm.
just an ability to ask some good questions about the things that we're going to talk about, and just be able to understand or look forward to understanding the conversation that we're going to have with as it pertains to the house. Now, the important thing to note about that is also to understand that the home inspection is based upon the current condition of the house as it stands as we walk today. It's not
Mhm.
about prospective appearance for the future. It's not about something that may have happened yesterday. It is a condition today. And those conditions can change between the day you walked it, when they fell in love with it and they put an offer in, to today when we're doing a home inspection, because things tend to happen at any given time.
Right, right, right. That's true. That's true. Yes. So, what has been your biggest challenge in this whole work, of home inspections?
Well, the biggest challenge as a home inspector has been the market. This market has been up and down in terms of houses being sold as is, houses being sold with limited access for inspections. And as home inspectors, or as a home inspector myself, we've come up with different ways to accommodate the new trends in the market. So we do offer things like walk-in talks, which would basically be a home inspection prior to purchase, prior also to putting in a contract on a house that is in a market that's really hot. So if you got a hot market and you got a bunch of people lined up outside to see that house,
Right.
then we can do a walk and talk with you. It doesn't include a physical report, but it will give you a verbal information about whether to put in a contract.
Okay.
But as it pertains to the market itself, that's where the major challenges have been. A lot of folks will call now after they purchase the house and ask about getting it inspected. And at that point, it's kind of defeated the purpose. However, I can still do home inspections after you've purchased. But the market itself has been the biggest challenge.
Right. And even if they did that, now they know that they're going to learn more about the house, but it's going to
Right,
be on them to make all repairs and things like
right,
that. They've lost out on maybe asking the seller to make some repairs. And I
right.
just thought about something. I remember just speaking recently to someone that said that sometimes if the buyer doesn't want to do all the walking around with you, that they show up maybe like 15 minutes before you're done, and then you can go over those major components in the house instead of them tagging along all the way with you. What do you think about that type
That
of?
is that well, and that I don't I would not recommend that.
Uh-huh.
Maybe for a more seasoned home buyer, yeah,
Oh.
somebody who's owned a house before, that would probably be okay.
Hmm.
For new home buyers, I think that their participation in the entire process is best. Now, again, I'm open to whatever works for them, and I
Yeah.
will certainly accommodate whatever requests they have within reason. I mean, I've had folks ask me, can I, they can't attend the home inspection, can I do a FaceTime while I'm doing the home inspection? That's really not possible. I'm not set up to
Right.
to put cameras all over my body and do a home inspection. However, if I can accommodate certain requests, if the person cannot show up because they have to work or had an emergency, things of that nature, we can certainly work around that. If they need to show up within the last 15, 20 minutes of the home inspection, and I can kind of give them a Cliff Notes version of the items that we've seen, then I certainly do not frown upon that.
Right. And then you do provide the report, pictures, all of that
Right,
stuff afterward. Yeah.
right,
And I agree with you too, especially if it's a first time home buyer, to actually learn with you as you're going through the house,
right,
what's important about it, because it is a really big investment.
right,
So, yeah. And so, one of the things, I know you've been in this business for a while, and I know you've mentioned some of the challenges. I'm sure that you have felt some joy in what you're doing, or you wouldn't be doing it now. So, tell me a little bit about what pleases you, the joy that you get in the work that you're doing.
Well, actually, it's the sharing of information with a home buyer, sometimes with agents like yourself.
Uh-huh.
I have a couple of few agents that are new to the business, and they enjoy going through the inspection with me and learning what to look for. So let's just say that person goes to a property and shows it to their client. They may decide to pull away from that property because of something they see that we discussed on a previous inspection. So I do enjoy the sharing, and I guess more or less learning and teaching about the different types of homes that we see. And I mean, it may sound weird, but I do enjoy sharing that information because there's so many different types of properties out here, so many different components, so many different builders, architects and such, and the way homes are built. And I really enjoy just venturing into that. Every home is like a new adventure for me.
Yeah, that's good. And I don't think you're crazy at all, because I think we do get joy in educating our buyers and sellers. In this whole work, I mean, they're looking up to us as experts in the field to give them the right information. So if you've given some good information, some good recommendations, and it has helped someone out, I'm sure that that's what brings you joy.
Right,
So,
definitely.
Wendell, we're in a minute, we're going to share how to reach out to both you and I. Is
Mhm.
there any last minute information, story, or anything that you'd like to share with the audience?
Well, mainly the stories that I like to talk about are the ones that when a client moves into a house and they something nothing goes wrong, they're able to take a look at the house, they go in and see it again for a third time, and they call me and say, "Hey, listen, I really realized that every time there was an emergency or there was a situation that I had to go back and pay attention to your home inspection, or I can reference your home inspection from a year ago and they knew exactly where to go." That kind of stuff brings me joy for them to know what they were getting into, to find the issue or find a situation where they had to find where the filter was, and they needed to turn off the main water supply and they were able to locate that kind of stuff. I really enjoy hearing those kinds of things from clients, and I also enjoy that they moved to the house and everything's been great for a year. So I
Right.
like
That's
that too.
good. Yes. Well, it's been a joy talking to you today, and I've actually learned a couple of things from you just in our talk today. So, it's been a pleasure, and we're going to share just in a minute how people can reach you.
Okay.
So, yes. So here is the information for both Wendell and myself. Um, and we are very happy to be with you today. And I hope that you've enjoyed this information. You can always come back and listen to it again. It's being recorded. And have a great day. Thank you, Wendell, for being with us today.
No problem. Thank you very much, and I look forward to working with you in the future.
All righty. Thank you.
All right.